What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. I am Edward the Collector, and today we're going to be taking a look at a fairly controversial figure. This is Transformers Studio Series Gamer Edition War for Cybertron Starscream. That's a lot of words. It's Gamer Edition Starscream. It's a Starscream from the War for Cybertron / Fall of Cybertron games that came out in the late 2010s. And honestly, it looks pretty good. So, just straight off the bat, I'm going to say it's overhated. And now that we're past that, I'll talk more about it. So, here he is in his Cybertronian jet mode, kind of Tetrajet-like. And if you don't know what that is, it's the pyramid-shaped jets that they used in G1 when they were on Cybertron, the original cartoon. Kind of like that. It's kind of, triangle-shaped. And the shape of it, I kind of like. It's kind of cool. Has the, what are these called? They're forward-facing wings, but there's a specific name for them. I can't remember right now, but it's cool. It's kind of like the animated design. They have the forward-facing wings. Quite a lot going on in the back, but honestly, that's all right in my opinion, because, kind of heavy Transformer. Gotta, have some thrusters. That's fine. And then the cockpit, honestly, in jet mode, does not look bad. That's the most controversial part about it, is the cockpit, the window. And it's I'll talk about it more in robot mode, because here, honestly, it looks fine. It doesn't, bother me that much. Doesn't bother me at all, really. But the design, the colors, some paints, like the Decepticon symbols are in this lavender color, which is very nice. I wish that color for the Decepticon symbols were used more, just in general, because usually they're in like a purple, like a dark purple, or like a silver for like the movies. But the lavender, the light purple, looks pretty good. And it's classic Starscream colors. It's gray, red, blue. It's good. But not much to say about it other than the underside kind of sucks. The arms, for me, don't like to peg together unless you get them in like a weird position, because it's supposed to tab together like that, but then that makes like this part not really aligned well, so then it looks good like this, but then the arms come undone, so that's bad. And then you can kind of see his head right there, but that's, what can you do? But that's just the worst part about the jet mode to me. So for accessories, he comes with this mace and this null ray that you can put on his jet for some reason. You just put them there. Kind of weird, but we'll get to those in robot mode. And we'll get to robot mode. So first, what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to come back here and separate the legs from the backpack assembly. And you got to be careful with that, because on my copy, it's already kind of, I guess you can't really see it, but the tabs are kind of stressing. You can kind of see it better under there. You see the white part? That's a stress mark, and so it's possible it could break, and it might break over the years. Just be careful with that. And then bring out the backpack. Just bring out the wings a little bit. Oh, what I forgot to mention was the wings. In jet mode, people complained a lot. I'm not going to put it back together fully, but people complained a lot about the wings being too short, which, fair enough, but that's also not inaccurate. That's just kind of how it is in the game. There's a specific part in the game where you fight Starscream when you're playing the Autobots campaign, and as he's flying around, the wings do look like that. This is what he looks like. So there's a couple parts in the game and in Fall Cybertron 2 where his wings like spread out a little bit, like the Seeker model's wings spread out when you fly. But overall, the short wings are accurate and they look good in robot mode. So it's, people are just complaining to complain again. Then you're going to want to, I was kind of transforming as I was talking, but you saw me split the wing. It comes around, and these wing sections collapse. Well, first, you got to open this part up and fold in that red bit and put it back down. Like that. And then there's the back assembly. Then you can pose the wings. And then for the legs, you got to come down like this. Fold in that little wing bit right there. they tab in, pull down these gray pieces, and those click together like that. Fold out this toe. Make sure to bend the knees because they are just stuck in there, but I like to bend them. And then bring around the arms like that. Bring it up like so. And then the chest assembly comes down, and there's tabs right there that plug into the blue parts of the shoulder arm assembly. And then bring down the cockpit, push out the head. And then the head is actually kind of interesting because it comes out like this. Then you got to bring it down like that, and then keep bringing it back, and then just fold it around or flip it around because it's on a ball joint. And then that nose cone goes up, and then the cockpit closes, and then you just close everything up, angle these parts, and then fold out the backpack, and it tabs together. And there we have War for Cybertron, Gamer Edition, Fall Cybertron, whichever game you want, Starscream. And I don't hate it. I truly believe that this is an overhated figure. I don't know people's opinions of it now. I was definitely in the camp of it kind of looks chunky and kind of bad. But it just doesn't. I mean, it kind of does. It kind of looks a little bit wide or chunky. But for the game model, it doesn't look terrible. I'm saying that slowly because I know people are probably gonna, not like that. But, and again, I don't really know people's opinions of the mold or this like design now. But when it first was revealed and pictures were showing up, people hated it. And people hate Gamer Edition. That's also overhated figure and overhated line. I don't think Gamer Edition deserves all the hate. But whatever. Anyway, cockpit, the carrot, it's kind of thick, but it just, on camera, I guess it's kind of chunky, but again, just in person, it doesn't bother me. I don't think it bothers a lot of people either, because people are still getting the other two Seekers that were revealed, the Thundercracker and Skywarp. Those came out, or are coming out, I don't know. But same mold, nothing's really changed up here, and people are still getting them. So it's like, okay, I guess. And plus, it's an easy just Sharpie or paint, and you can just, silver Sharpie, silver paint, whatever, you just thin it out. Because, the game model does have it a little bit thinner, but for the toy and how it looks just here, I like it. I'll say it. I like this figure. I like how it looks. Anyway, articulation. That was a little bit of a rant, sorry. Ball joint at the neck, so you can look up that far, look down that far, not much, and then you can move around a little bit. You can get into some poses. These things, I got this figure used. I didn't get a box or instructions or anything, so I think these parts come separate. They're not on him in box. You have to actually put them on. So look out for that if you get this or Thundercracker or Skywarp. But those can move around a little bit. They look good angled. The wings can move around. They're on a hinge. I don't really move around though. I just like having them at this angle. There's a swivel there, an out and an in. Full 360, by the way. Bicep swivel. That's not really the bicep. That's kind of like more shoulder. Double jointed elbow, or a bicep hinge and an elbow. Don't really know what's going on there. Wrist swivel, which is nice. Don't see a lot of that nowadays anymore for some reason. A waist swivel, which is surprising to me because it's hindered so much, but it's nice that it's there because you can get a little bit of, you can get some posing going. And then he has a thigh swivel. I didn't notice this until now. Look at how bizarre that joint is. So it starts there, it goes up, and then it goes out like that. That's crazy. Anyway, leg goes back that far, forward that far, out that far. He has a knee bend past 90 degrees, which is nice. And then an ankle pivot. So you can definitely get him into some interesting poses. He does this pose a lot in game and on the cover of War for Cybertron. He kind of squats down and looks weird. But you can do this. You can do that pose. And then for his accessories, which we saw a little bit of earlier, he has this null ray, and he has this mace. And so the mace can just go in his hand like this. either hand, but for the purpose of showing both of them, I'll do left hand right now. It looks cool. It's very generic, but it looks nice. It's good enough. It's a melee weapon. And then his arm could just come off like that, and then you could just put on the gun like this. And it's okay. It's fine. I just don't really like the gun itself. I don't really care for how it looks. It just kind of, it's thin, and then the joint here is thin as well, so it just kind of looks weird overall. Plus, I don't like the gun in game, so you know, I never really liked using the null ray. But only problem I have with this figure and his accessories is that he has this arm piece. I say piece, but it's literally just his arm, and it doesn't have anywhere to go. On some other Gamer Edition figures, I think Optimus and even Bumblebee and Sideswipe, I have Sideswipe as well, they have places for their arms to go, but he just doesn't. So that kind of sucks. I guess you just put it right there. And, you know, there we go. But the mace is cool. The gun is cool. Nice accessories. I like how they're going for War for Cybertron, you know, actual weapons. And here is Sideswipe as like a comparison for one. You can see a little bit taller. This is a Voyager class figure. He's a deluxe. But you can actually just take any of the War for Cybertron Gamer Edition figures and just give them different guns. Every figure comes with a different gun. That's a lie. I think a couple of them come with the same gun or reused. But he comes with this Photon Burst assault rifle, and Starscream comes with null ray, and both of them can just use either one. So love that. That's why I like Siege so much, is because they had weapons and blast effects that you could just give them. Like, everyone could, that was like the play feature, was everyone could have, you know, could use the guns. And then Sideswipe also has his arm stored on his back, which is nice. Starscream doesn't have that, so that's a shame. But yeah, overall, I think the height is a little bit accurate. I was looking at Fall Cybertron, the customization classes and multiplayer, and this is kind of accurate. I really thought the jets and the cars classes were the same height, but they're not really. And plus, I think this just works better overall, because I feel like flyers and jets would be taller than cars, like ground units. Just me though, I guess. But overall, overhated line, overhated figure. I like this figure. I think you guys might as well. It's a good transformation, good vehicle mode. Other than the arms in the jet mode on the underside, because that's kind of just lazy. I don't know what else it would do, but other than that, good jet mode, pretty good robot mode. The design is great. Love these games. If you haven't played these games before, go play them. I'd say that like it's easy to get, but you can pirate them, or you can get them on GameStop for Xbox, PS3. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Hope you guys enjoyed the opinions. Probably not, but we'll see him in another video. We're probably going to see him in another video. But good figure, overhated line. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you all in the next one.